All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Christopher Pelton. I am the mad scientist of media here at THC Limitless. And it is that time once again for a new episode of THC Time. And today's guest, I'm very excited to have on. I just recently connected with this gentleman, and he is down in the scene. He gets it. He loves what he does. And so we're not going to waste a whole lot of time. Let's go ahead and bring him in here. Andrew Laabs. Laabs, there we go. All right. Excellent. Andrew, thank you for coming on to the Horror THC Time. I appreciate your time today. And so tell me, what was your first horror experience? Like what popped the cherry, so to speak?
So, I mean, I've always loved horror movies ever since I was a child. I've told this story before. Like I remember I was like 8 or 9 years old, and my parents dropped me off at my grandmother's house for the night so they could have a night out. Mm-hmm. And we went to the video store, and usually I would just pick up like an old wrestling tape or some kind of Disney movie or something. But for some reason I wanted to get A Nightmare on Elm Street. So I thought the cover looked cool with Freddy, and so I got Elm Street Part 4.
Oh, right on.
And I remember sitting there with her, and there's the little nudity scene, and I'm just like, whoa. And she's like, don't tell your mother about this. I'm like, so I just kept seeing things like on TV, like Tales from the Crypt would be on like late at night, and like I'd see Elvira and things like that when I was younger, when I was trying to stay up and pull all-nighters. And So I've been hooked on horror my whole life.
Nice.
And I've always wanted to just to be in a movie. I always wanted to act in a horror movie, and I go to a lot of conventions and have met a lot of people and trying to network and navigate my way through the industry. And I had a really great talk with David Howard Thornton. He's Art the Clown in the Terrifier series, and he's kind of giving me some advice on what I should be doing. And I went on, and there was a movie called The Dead Place, which he was going to be the star in.
Okay.
So I ended up buying a perk, and I'm like, maybe I can get my foot in the door here. And I bought a perk to be in the scene. Went out and shot the scene, and became really good friends with the director. And he invited me back for another scene, and it just kind of escalated from there. Like I just kept getting roles, and I'm having a blast.
Nice. It is a tricky. It's once you get the foot in the door, things can start moving forward. But getting the foot in the door is very difficult. And as someone who exists in the indie world, you guys are doing tremendous work that deserves to be spotlighted more. And one of the things that I find funny is that when they talk about Hollywood movies, they're like, oh, well, they only had a budget of $10 million only. Yeah, give me $10 million and tell me to go make a movie. I'll come back with something you've never seen before. Whereas with like the first film that I wrote that was released last year, our budget was like $500. So it's that DIY kind of feeling, which I think is what attracts me to the indie scene, is that these are men and women who are going out there, and they've got day jobs, and they've got families, and like you said, it's like they always wanted to be in a movie. It's like you're a horror fan, being in a horror movie, that's tremendous. So what was the first time you were kind of like recognized? Have you had that experience at like cons and stuff?
At conventions I have, yeah. People that have watched like A Hard Place and Bad Apples and things like that. Yeah.
Excellent.
So that the first movie, The Dead Place, it actually comes out June 1st, and we have a premiere June 10th in Beverly Hills. So it's going to be good to see, David again and the rest of the crew. So
yeah, absolutely. David's had man, that dude, talk about bottling lightning. Especially since he wasn't the clown to start with.
Right.
But he just took that role and he ran it home. I'm excited about the next
yeah, and he's really good at it too, and he's a super nice guy. He was so fun to have on set. And I've talked to him probably 20 times at conventions, and every time I go there, I always make it a thing to go say hi. So.
Sure. Yeah, I got a chance to talk to Damien about 2 years ago. I was at the Silver Screen convention in Massachusetts, thrown by Ice Nine Kills, and I talked to a lot of people, and Damien was running around like a chicken with his head cut off because Terrifier 3 hadn't come out yet, and he was like, everything was kind of rushing. But it was a great conversation. He had some great things to say, and it's been a great. This is one of the things that I tell folks. I've been a book publisher now for like 3.5 years. I do we do all kinds of stuff, and I tell people because a lot of times people go into their first conventions, and certainly if I'm wrong, let me know. But one of the things that I tell folks is that the only thing that you don't have any control over at a convention is who shows up. And my advice to them is to talk to everybody. Talk to your neighbors at booths. Talk to, I've met so many people that led to other things because we were at shitty conventions together. So we ended up just sitting there talking all day. That's how I met Beatrice Bopley. That's how I met Ari Lehman. one of the guys who played Leatherface was there. So like it's like, yeah, okay, fine. There's nobody here buying, but we're all talking horror, So it was a very cool experience, and that's what I try to tell folks, because you never know who you're going to run into. You never know who maybe 6 months from now is working on a project, and it'll be like, oh, it would be really good for that guy we met, and to me that's the exciting part is, if you can get connected with the right people and they form that team, that nucleus that is vital for creation. Who in your time in movies, like who have been some of the people that have really, aside from David, who have kind of reached out to you and said, hey man, why don't you come check this out, or can we talk about that, or like who are some of the folks you're interacting with on the regular?
Gary Hill is one person that I talk to a lot. He lives pretty close by. We actually just filmed the opening scene for a movie, We're Not Alone. Nice. The rest of it will be in the fall. We've done a lot of stuff together. He's a good dude.
Yeah, Gary's a good guy. I had him on the show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and Steve Morris, he's like the director of Bad Apples. We talk a ton. We actually have a podcast starting together. And
awesome.
Yeah, Bad Apples just came out on Tubi not too long ago. So if you haven't seen it yet, you can watch it on
Prime. Yeah, check it out. I keep hearing it's being mentioned, it's being talked about. Yeah. And that always excites me because it's like, okay, the one thing that I hear a lot is, oh, there's no new horror. There's nothing new in horror. And it's like, there is. You just have to be willing to step outside of the corporate structure that makes horror and go out and find these folks, find their films. And are they going to look like $1 million? Sometimes they do. I mean, the availability of equipment, high quality professional equipment, prices coming down, editing software prices coming down. At least from that end of it, the technical end of it, I think it's probably more feasible now than ever before for somebody to go out and do. I mean, I've seen 15-minute short films shot on iPhones.
All right.
And, the camera on the iPhone was a hell of a lot better than the camcorder I shot my first short with. So, it's like the technology is involved or has evolved, and a lot of people are reaching out to it now. What are your thoughts, Matthew? Because this has been coming up a lot I've seen lately. What are your thoughts on vertical filmmaking? Because like TikTok seems to be the thing now, and everybody's looking for that, that kind of thing. As an actor, do you think that it would limit what you can do, or do you kind of figure out how to make that work?
Yeah, you just got to kind of work with what you got. Like I don't even think I've ever been on TikTok before. Okay. I know maybe I've seen some like reels and things, but
yeah,
I'm more of a Facebook dude.
No, that's
I see stuff, but I just don't. I don't know. It's not my thing.
It's been popping up a bit lately, and I guess there's like there's a couple places now that are teaching courses. Like a couple of the film schools are adopting it, and
right.
Because it is. I mean, it's a new format, and the thing I like about it is I don't feel like if I'm doing a video for the YouTube channel, or we're working on something for the TV channel. I want all of that space, but for social media, it's a different approach, and I'm going to be trying to use those tools to build anticipation for other people's work. Mm-hmm. So just okay, there it is. I'm like just released. And I actually have to sit down and watch this afternoon because I owe Shane a review, which is fine because Shane's great. Him and I talk on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. So this is the trailer for Others, Doom from the Stars, and this one just came out recently.
Correct.
And the buzz has been good from what I've heard. So let's take a look at that trailer, and then we're going to go to a commercial, and we'll come back.
thing is, there's so many voices and sounds. It's hard to pull things out. Once in a while, a word will be heard. Though things like time, space, eternity, and things other words that don't make sense. Things like hoster, hug, yerb, and other things I can't try to pronounce.
And other people are talking about, it's the elder gods that are visiting them in their sleep.
H.P. Lovecraft was said to admit on his deathbed that everything he wrote about was true.
Have you heard these people saying that H.P. Lovecraft's visions are coming true? I say that is a load of rubbish.
That may make these others the old ones, the great old ones.
The old ones are more ancient than any other beings. Their power is nearly unlimited.
Lovecraft was a fiction writer. Anyone suggesting that he saw some other world is delusional.
They're having bad fever dreams talking about, I encountered Cthulhu.
All right, and we're back. Sick in the Saint, it is available. Is available everywhere that books are sold. All right, so I dig the trailer, man. I dig the vibe. I'm really looking forward to watching it this afternoon. I'm excited to see it. What scale were you guys working at? Was there a budget to play with, or was it basically just down and dirty?
Yeah, it was a very small budget. Me and Gary basically just kind of, played the two characters in the moment while everything else was going on with everybody else. And it's one of those things where you just have to work with what you got. So we made everything work with locations and, cameras, and we got some great people that made some awesome cameos. And I think it turned out really well. I think people are going to like it.
Nice. It's the approach. I dig what I've seen just now in the trailer. I dig the approach to it. Is this a reality? What was, it's got that, it grabs your attention. Mm-hmm. So I'm, definitely looking forward to that this afternoon. So Bad Apples has been getting, I've been hearing a lot about it. How did that come to fruition?
Basically, I had met the director, Steve Morris, on a Heart Place set. We started out doing sound together, and then we both acted as well, and we ended up staying at the same Airbnb. So, like right off the bat, we just clicked, and we started talking movies, and started talking about doing stuff together. And then a few months down the line, he was coming out with Bad Apples, him and Nathan Dalton, and I really wanted to be a part of it. And then he ended up offering me the role of Curtis Turner. So nice. It was my first huge role playing one of the lead characters. And it was totally full circle for me because like I said before, when I watched that Elm Street 4 movie, Lisa Wilcox is the final girl in that. Yep. In Bad Apples, I actually got to work with Lisa, and I adopted her child.
Nice.
I was telling her that. I was telling her the story about it, and she loved it. I was like, man, I can't believe that, 30 years ago.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's the horror fans. They're a different breed, but not in a bad way. Like you would think that oh, the misfits and the freaks, but it's not like that at all. Like the last couple of conventions that I went to, I mean, it's becoming a family thing. Like I saw parents with their little kids cosplaying as Chucky or Billy from, Billy the Puppet from Saw, and they're just so excited to be there. And they're and it's funny with the little kids because the little kids don't know, like if they were to meet Tobin Bell, do they know he's Jigsaw? Probably not. I don't think they've seen the movies, but they just are. The kids are so excited to be there. The parents are excited to be there because they get to share something that they're passionate about with their children. And that to me is just, it's a tremendous sense of community in the indie horror world. And I understand that, there's bullshit in the community, just like there's bullshit in every community. It's unavoidable when you're dealing with human beings. Ego sometimes gets in the way. But in this particular instance, we're all kind of riding the same wave. This renaissance, I think, that's coming. We're going to change the way that people see horror movies. We're going to change the way that people see horror books. We're going to, that's the whole plan is to elevate all of you guys because, what rising tide raises all ships or something like that. So for me, it's like, it's a matter of, I'm always open for collaboration, because that's how we all grow and we get to know each other, and then, bonds form between people. And then you can just be like, oh, hey man, you can call somebody up and be like, hey, I just had this idea. What do you think? And blah, blah, blah. And so then you've got, the germination of an idea, and the stuff that's been growing out of it, the stuff that I've seen and the stuff that I know is coming out in the next 6 months. I mean, well done. I mean, my hat off to you guys because, I've been watching it happen. And I mean, like I said, I've been a publisher now for 3.5 years. I wrote a movie last year. We got it made. It's running all over the place. So, for me to be able to get that foot in the door already, now it behooves me to be like, hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Because if I can provide the opportunities, I'm going to, there's I'll run people's trailers, I'll run interviews, because I want you guys to go out there and do what you do, because nobody is going to sell your product better than you.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. I'm probably the biggest promoter of the things that I'm in. I just want everybody to succeed. There's nothing like being on a set. Just the collaboration, the people, the fun, and like you said, at conventions. I mean, everybody's there for the same reason. Like we all love horror. I mean, I've been to probably 50 conventions. I've never had an issue with anybody. Everybody's just happy. And yeah, like you said, you'd think that everybody would be crazy and stuff, but I think we let our crazy out at the conventions when we go there. So it's like,
exactly.
I love being on sets. It's a blessing for sure. I really love doing it.
And it's a lot of, like you said, it's you're having fun. You're connecting with people who share, obviously, similar or the same interest.
Yeah.
And you can meet those folks, and you never know who's going to, end up being your creative partner in crime, for the next 30 years. I mean, you look at people like Elton John and Bernie Taupin or Meatloaf and Jim Steinman. I mean, when they brought those people together, they shine. And that's what we're trying to do here, is we want everybody to shine. So we're going to take a real quick commercial. Then we're going to come back and we're going to play Straight Fire. So let's see. How about this one?
From the author of Uncovering Norman, Death in the Cards, and The One in the Noose. Sharon Cody moved to Florida for peace, but found her ex-husband's ghost haunting her new life. Just when she thought supernatural threats were her only problem, a real-life predator starts stalking her every move. As supernatural dread collides with very real danger, Sharon must wield the psychic strength she's long denied. Because in Gulfside, even paradise can turn deadly, and if she can't fight back, she may lose everything.
Yes, indeed, folks. Be sure to check that book out, as well as so many others. Susan is an amazing writer. I had the privilege of working with her a couple years ago on Death in the Cards, and just a superhuman being, one of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet, and a great writer. So SusanERogers.com, folks. Go check that out. I think it's also anywhere books are sold. And now it's time for everybody's favorite game. This is Straight Fire.
What if CAT really spelled dog?
All right, it's time for Straight Fire. Andrew, 5 random questions, no wrong answers. Don't think about it too long because, quite honestly, it doesn't matter. First question and last question are always the same, so we'll go ahead and kick it off. If dogs wore pants, would they wear them on 2 legs or 4 legs?
See, personally, I think it would be 4.
Okay.
Because I don't understand how they would be able to do anything if they just had 2 of their legs in there and the other 2 weren't.
Sure. Good point.
So I don't know. They have to figure that out somehow, I guess. But
my favorite answer to that question has been shorts on the bottom, on the back 2 legs, and then like a little jacket on the front 2 legs. And I'm like, okay, right on. Sure. You've got one horror movie that you can watch for the rest of your life. Just one. What's that movie?
It's going to be Scream 1. That's my favorite all-time horror movie. And realistically, if I see it on TV, I'd turn it on and watch it every time, even though I probably know the whole thing line for line.
Sure. But that's the sign of a great film.
Yeah.
Is that it gets in your head. Like, I remember when that movie hit theaters, and I was just like, Wes Craven. All right, yeah, man. Growing up in the 80s, I was a Wes Craven fan. So yeah, to Scream, getting a little long in the tooth, maybe. I haven't seen the last couple, so I'm not talking shit about them. But the first one is an excellent film.
I'm a big Wes Craven guy, so Elm Street, Scream, Shocker, things like that.
Oh yeah, love Shocker.
Met everybody from the Scream 1 movie except for Courtney Cox. So.
I don't think Shocker gets enough.
No.
Enough acknowledgement. It is a solid film. So on the opposite end of that, what is your favorite guilty pleasure movie?
Let's see.
In the genre, out of the genre?
I find myself watching Shawshank Redemption a lot. I love the story. I love the acting, and I like those movies where they're long, but it keeps your attention.
Sure.
I don't know, what's like 4 hours long or something like that.
It is.
So, yeah.
Right on. Excellent movie. Mine varies between Grease 2 and Jaws: The Revenge.
Okay.
And I love Jaws: The Revenge because we learn stuff like a shark is faster than a jet. Right. That's important. That's good to know. You're in a cabin in the woods. You find a book that is bound in human flesh and inked in human blood. What do you do with it?
Probably leave it there.
Excellent.
I don't think taking it up and looking at it's going to help my situation at all. So
never helps anybody's situation, which is why I'm so surprised when I ask that question to people. I always go, I'm going to read it. I'm like, we're horror people. We know how this plays out. Right. I don't want Deadites. Thank you very much. Chainsaw Hand might be cool, but and then the last question, and once you answer, I'll explain why I ask. When you are in the grocery store, Andrew, can you reach the items on the top shelf?
Absolutely. I do it. I have actually a side gig job to make extra money where I shop for people. Excellent. So that happens a lot. Yeah.
Awesome. The reason I ask is because it was one of the very first questions I was asked years ago. And I'm 6'4". So, the top shelf is not I figured like 8% of my life has been spent helping old ladies in a grocery store. So if you ever hear that I'm a top shelf guy, that's what they're talking about. Otherwise, I'm an asshole.
Yeah, I'm 6'2", so I can reach everything, but sometimes I need those little old grannies to be with me to get the stuff on the bottom.
True. That is true. That's the deal we have here. My wife is 5'2", So she does the short work, I do the tall work. We've been married for 15 years, so it worked out pretty well. So Andrew, what is next? What's buzzing in your world? What are you working on? What are you looking forward to next?
Yeah, so The Dead Place comes out on June 1st on Bloodstream TV. That's going to be the first drop for that. If you like Terrifier and you like David Howard Thornton, you're going to see him in a new light playing the new kid who, terrorizes this high school student into trying to, possess him to do his dirty work. So you're going to be able to hear his voice the entire movie. And then we have our premiere on June 10th in Beverly Hills. So that's good for that.
Very fancy.
We did touch on Bad Apples. If you haven't seen that, Prime, Tubi, leave us a review. We love to hear all the feedback.
Absolutely.
I'm doing the We're Not Alone movie with Gary Hill. We're going to film the rest of that in the fall. So it's paranormal cult kind of movie. Yeah, I just got hired on to do Ghost Redemption, where I'm going to be playing a mechanic. This guy named Ghost was wronged in a past life, and he comes back to take his aggression out on poor me. So.
All right, I dig it. So let's see here. All right, so you can find you at Facebook.
Yeah, that's mainly my go-to.
Your go-to.
Yeah.
Right on. And what's your next convention? Like, are you guys going to be doing conventions as a production company, or are you already doing them as a production company?
So yeah, I've done probably 10 convention tables with friends and people that have been in the movies with me and stuff.
Nice.
So I have I love going to conventions and collaborating and meeting other directors and just promoting your stuff. And I have personal conventions coming up. So Bad Apples was chosen to be played at Days of the Dead in Indianapolis.
Nice.
So it's going to be one of the feature movies there for the film festival, which is super cool. That's July 17th through the 19th, if you can make it out there. The end of July, early August is Flashback Weekend, which is a huge convention in Chicago. And they have a Scream theme this year. So
nice.
Ton of the Scream guests. So obviously I'm going to be there, I'm getting people that I haven't met before and things like that. So Those are my next two ones I'm doing. Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Andrew, I look forward to what you guys got coming up in the future. I'm going to be sure to check out both movies, Bad Apples and the others, and drop some reviews on that. Share that around. Share the links around with folks so they can check it out as well, and get you guys some hype going. And we're going to run this. New TV channel launches in 2 weeks, so sometime. Yeah. I want to thank you for coming out today and talking to us. I love meeting folks. We could sit here and bullshit for hours about movies and stuff like that. That's part of the problem. It's like, okay, come on, I got to wrap it up. I got shit I got to do. But I love talking to folks. I love talking film. And I'm really excited about what the future holds for all of us as a community. And if you guys ever need anything, feel free to hit me up. My table is always open. And, if you need promo work or whatever the case may be, I am here. I'm one of the easiest people to find. So I don't leave the house that much. So, because I live in Arizona now and it's, 127 degrees. So it's going to be a great year for everyone. I got a really positive feeling we're going to make some magic happen. And I definitely hoping that you and Gary are going to come on board and hang with us, and let's have some fun and let's make some cool stuff, because there's a severe lack of cool stuff. So, Andrew, thank you again for your time, my friends. Thank you for joining us here at TCH Time. We're going to go ahead out on one last ad, and I will see you right here in the driver's seat pretty soon.
Deuces.